What's going on? Might as well invite you in here to my short gaming session. Getting a little 7 days in. This is a good game, dude, just to get to prime your mind for scavenging. I know it's kind of violent and kind of morbid, but it teaches you to recognize like usable stuff in the environment, and it works in real life. Like in a way, you prime yourself to see things. You will see them. Like, look, when I started looking for certain plants, at first I couldn't find them, and then after a while, I'm like, how in the heck did I never see this before? And they're everywhere, growing out of stuff from places you would not expect, out of the eaves trough, like me cleaning out gutters as a roofer, like just to wine and dine the customer, because that's the type of man I am on the job. Don't judge me by my life of how of an employee I am. You know, I don't show up drinking. I'm, for the most part, I'm on time and reliable, but hey man, life happens, and you know, if it's kind of like the fighter who wants to keep the perfect record, and then he makes it to 199 and loses, and then he gives up because he just set his standard sight so high that he just can't just be a regular guy anymore, you know. And that's the same thing. That's why I like being the lower man, not the lowest man, but a lower man, because I have more access to different variety, and a lot of times some tricky, redundant stuff will get allocated to me. But anyway, like this game, like stuff at work, like plants, like bushcraft, freaking, you train yourself to see things, like, and you'll start seeing patterns and repeating things, and you'll find unexpected results at times, and that will modify your whole approach to it. You'll modify your theories towards what you believe and why, and from based on your research or your studies. Did I just hear this next shut up? Okay, it's still rolling. Good to go. Anyway, it's like, there's good movies if you want to just like, look, real easy research is to watch a movie, not to be entertained by the movie, but to extract a code or a leak or a drop of real intel, because they do this. For instance, there's a movie called The Siege with Denzel Washington. This guy, man, he gets chosen to release and drop like a bunch of like real shizzle, like The Siege, like Training Day, like that movie The Fallen. And even maybe there's one I seen a long time ago called Nick of Time, and I forgot about it, but maybe that's Mandela Effect. They were kind of dropping it, because they already had the Hadron Colliders in New York, Brookshaven or something like that, and George Bush owns one of these, and they were trying to get it built in Texas. This is just all, it's public record, but it's not, no one's running you down in the street to tell you this type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? They all keep it covert, but they have to like release it, but you gotta kind of dig a little bit, but for instance, that movie The Siege, that's a perfect example of what happens during a martial law. Bruce Willis is they're basically these real like bait shit, crazy military industrial complex people who just have a complex, and because they're just eager to operate within their powers, like when called to do so, and they're called to be cruel and make the freaking really bad, difficult decisions, like, we can put these people in the quarantine, but these other 15 people, line them up over there by that ditch and put a bullet in them, and you civilian opper, you go over there in that bulldozer. Look, non-disclosure, motherfuckers, we own you. You better not talk about it. You better take this with you to your grave, or you'll be in that grave with them bodies. And this is that critical thinking class in high school. They primed us for this. Milgram experiment, the people would electrocute people in knowing it, but even though it was all a psyop and it was fake, but it was real, as the placebo, it was showing how people can become psychopathic, sociopathic when asked to do so by a higher or perceived higher up authority type. And that's all this stuff that's going on right now. Is it's funny. It's because it's like, look, some of the first cases of the supposed C showed up in where else but Seattle. Why would Seattle be like so important? It's because it's the WHO. That's World Health Organization. It's not Who the band. Look, it's not American Woman. You better get away. But these people are a subsidiary of the UN, and that's why conveniently some of the first people were dropped over there, because their people are already on site in play working the operation. And if they couldn't get us in the martial law, it's like, look, if you want a better example of a martial law, but look, medical martial law, there's a movie called The Crazies. And there's the oldie but goodie, and this is straight up propagated, conscripted to be written, to instill, to implant the idea in the public's mind. And they made us read this book in school, and they're talking about current issues. Frickin', it was the outbreak, and basically it's like these people are itching to drop a nuke on our own population, supposedly to eradicate a disease. And this is exactly what happened in The Crazies, and at the end of it, it was all being filmed by somebody, and then it just moved to the next town, and all to be the PSYOP experiment to be tested again. But it's like in the movie Blood In, Blood Out, man. And look, the Nazis did this, and there'll be a coup where they'll make a certain percentage